Hello and welcome to Spine Care Fitness. I'm Dave.
And I'm Laura.
And we are here to teach you how to become your own personal body mechanic so that you can fix yourself.
My name is Laura Fields. I'm a sports medicine physical therapist, and today we're going to talk about ankles and feet. Typically what happens to all of us is we're walking along and we twist this ankle, or we're pounding along and at the end of the day we have arch pain, plantar fasciitis. It is painful. So I'm going to show you how to fix it, get over it before it becomes a heel spur or before it becomes a ruptured muscle in your ankle. Okay, so first of all, look at all of the bones of the foot. It is so complex. It's basically it's a mess. It's just a bunch of bones and muscles and nerves going in. The architecture of the ankle is kind of, you'd think it's not efficient, because if you look at the tibia and the fibula, that's what makes up your ankle. And as you can see, this bone goes much further down than this bone. And so that kind of sets us up already for an inversion, a twist, rolling of the ankle. And that's what happens. We most often have inversion sprains, unless you fall into a hole, step into a hole, and then you do that type of thing. What you immediately want to do when you have an ankle sprain is get over it, get the inflammation out of the way and turn on the muscles again. And also your dynamic stabilizers, your proprioceptors, your muscles and nerves that balance you, keep you even. First thing you do when you're having suffering from an ankle sprain is get the swelling out of the way first. And so it's RICE, rest, ice, compression, elevation. You also want to kind of pump it. You don't want to grind it around, but you want to activate. Bring your foot up, bring your foot down, bring your foot up to help get that swelling out of the way. If you keep it down on the floor, it's called a dependent position, and gravity will just drop fluid, keep fluid in this ankle, and then it'll harden up and thicken up and it'll just be a mess. So you need to start flushing that stuff out of there as soon as possible. After the first 3 days, max of a week of that acute stage, that phase 1 stage of an ankle sprain, then you need to start waking up and restoring, jump-starting the muscles and the nerves that have turned off from that trauma of the twist. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. What you want to do is take a resistance band and put it around the tops of both feet. Okay? You want to make a space between your heels of about an inch, and then you're going to come up and spin out. Control it back and down. The muscles that you're activating for this is the tibialis anterior and, more importantly, the perineal muscles. There's 3 perineal muscles that come down around the ankle and attach to your foot, and they control eversion, the opposite of a twisted ankle. And those muscles turn off or get damaged or injured, and you need to get them back. You need to just jump start them and get them strong again. Everybody heals from an ankle sprain. What happens is people neglect to restore dynamic efficiency back to 100%, and then it becomes a recurrent injury. And then people say, well, I have a bad ankle, or I have a bad knee, or I have a bad whatever. And it's just because they didn't finish after they got over the inflammation stage. They didn't continue on and restore the muscles and nerves back to 100%. And that's what I'm teaching you to do. Okay, so back here again, make sure the band doesn't have you press your heels together. You have to keep a space in between. And you can put a block or a ball or whatever between your heels if you need. But come up and spin out. Do not let your knees do the movement. It's not about your hip external rotation of your knee. It's all about ankle. What will happen with injured side is you'll come up and your uninjured side will pull and your injured side will just stay there. And you have to go, hello, move. And so you will find, you're going, I'm telling it to move and it's not moving. And you have to, this is you reconnecting your brain to your ankle. And love the burn. The injured side will fatigue faster than the uninjured side. Don't be worried about that. That's reactivating the muscle. Okay? So take it to burnout and then control it back down. A few times a day doing this is a good thing. Before you go running, doing this will be a good thing to just make sure you're ready to run. Doing this type of thing will also help prevent shin splints and also train and repair shin splints and prevent it from becoming a tibial stress fracture. If you don't utilize these muscles and get your muscle and balance efficient, you'll break down. And that's what stress fractures come from, is overuse without the proper repair or rehabilitation of the muscles. So this is how you do it. It's a piece of cake. I call this the portable pump because you can take it with you, put it in your pocket, you know, and use what you have, bungee cords or any surgical tubing, anything that where you feel a nice burn in the muscle.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by to spinecarefitness.com. You can check out our site at www.spinecarefitness.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day. For even more great videos and resources, subscribe to our newsletter by visiting us at www.spinecarefitness.com. And just as a thank you for signing up, you'll get access to our subscriber-only video, The Back Attack Negotiator.